Do you want to open a restaurant, but not just another restaurant, but one that reaches out to your community and makes a difference? Today, I will share an interview with Kristina McFeeters, the founder of Kristina's Kitchen, a plant-based restaurant in Eastern Kentucky that is sharing Jesus through food. Not just food, but tasty and delicious food. Let's see the story. Kristina, tell me, why did you want to open a restaurant here?
So when I was about 8 years old, there was a couple in our church that took an interest in our family, or our family took an interest in them. We became really good friends. And they kind of adopted me as their adopted grandkids, you might say. And they opened a vegetarian restaurant in our hometown. And some of my favorite memories were going to visit their restaurant and eating there, and they always greeted everyone with a hug and just really had a really loving feel to all their customers. And they would teach cooking classes in the evenings and do other programs in the restaurant. And I always they were like role models to me. And so I said, when I grow up, when I retire, get to be their age, I'm going to open a restaurant. Maybe someday way out in the future.
Cool. Now, why here? Where are we? We're in? What's the name of the city?
So we're in Whitley City now.
Kentucky. Eastern Kentucky.
Yes,
Eastern Kentucky.
and of course that restaurant was actually in Washington State, where I grew up. But when my husband and I got married, we moved here to Whitley City, Eastern Kentucky area, specifically to be missionaries. That's why we moved here. And we didn't know how or what it would look like, but we started out just doing simple friendship evangelism. And my husband worked full-time to pay bills. And so we did cultural research, and then I started these monthly cooking classes on how to use fruits and vegetables and add them to your diet.
Cool. So you didn't open right away a restaurant.
No.
This was like a process.
This was a process.
But was it planned? Like you planned to have a restaurant?
No, we were just asking God to lead us one step at a time. There was no plan. We moved here with no plan. We just said, God, use us.
Okay, so you started doing monthly cooking classes. Where did you impart those classes?
I met up with some local leaders in the community during the time that I was making friends and getting to know people in the community. And they recommended me to talk to a local food bank in our community. And they had a little building with a kitchen that they would use for community events. And so I talked to the people and I told them, I said, hey, I just wanted your advice. I'm interested in starting a monthly cooking class on how to use fruits and vegetables and add them to your diet. And they said, well, that sounds like a great idea. If you want to do your class, you could have it here in our facility. And I wasn't even asking.
Cool.
I was just talking about the idea. And they're like,
God opening doors.
They're like, we'll give you the key. You can use our building. As long as your class is free, there's no charge for the building. Nice. And so that's how I started the classes. And after 5 years of doing those classes, also teaching classes at the local health department, partnering with the diabetes nurse, the health educator, and doing monthly cooking classes and joining town. After 5 years, people started saying, Kristina, we really wish we could just buy your food. Your food is so good. We love your classes, but that's only once a month. And we don't have time to cook this way. Why can't we just buy your food? And around the same time, I was praying about a way to reach out to more people. And we thought, if we could have an Outpost Center of influence in the community, we could reach so many more people for Jesus than just once a month at a cooking class. And so that's where the idea for the restaurant came. And my first thought was, God, it's too much work. I can't run a restaurant. But the more God opened doors, the more I realized this was no longer an idea for when I was ready to retire and just wanted to run a restaurant on the side. This was God's calling.
Awesome. So nice. So this city where we are, it was an unreached area, right?
So there is a church 1 mile down the road, but when my husband and I first started attending, we were the only young couple in the church. And there was
a dying church.
It was basically a dying church. And within the first 10 years that we were there, basically all of the leadership died except one.
Wow.
And so it's like, or two basically. And so yes, it was a dying church on its way out, surrounded by two dark counties that have no church.
Wow.
And so really an unreached area. We looked at the population of the county, and we looked at the number of people attending the church, and we figured the ratio of Adventists was about 1 per 1,000.
Wow. Wow. So you came here just to do mission by yourself, like you with your husband?
We moved here to be
yeah.
missionaries. My husband's desire was to be a tent-making missionary. He told me he'd never be a pastor when I married him. He's like, I just want to be a tent-making missionary. I'll work to pay the bills, and we'll do full-time ministry.
Awesome. I love it. Okay,
obviously,
so
that's not what happened, but that was the plan.
so now tell me, how was like, because I know that many people that may be hearing this interview, they were like, okay, yeah, God told you to open a restaurant, but how many things you had to figure out, like to start, like?
There's a lot to figure out in starting a restaurant, and I certainly didn't have it all. One thing I believe that did help me was for the last 2 years before I opened the restaurant, I had a 1-day-a-week job working at a health food store in Somerset. And that's where I was introduced to supplements and herbal companies and what were the best places to order from and what products were in demand in the area, and learn more about the health supplement aspect of it, because I realized if I was going to open a restaurant, it needed to be not just a restaurant, but also a health food store and a bakery, because we don't have that stuff available in our
Yeah, a bakery in here, you guys can see that we have cookies and muffins and granola. This is just part of what they bake. They're awesome. I already tried some and they're really amazing.
So that I had that, and then the only other background I had was basically with cooking at home and teaching cooking classes. The 5 years of classes helped me not only develop, you could say, a customer basis, but also helped me know what foods they liked and what foods they didn't.
Oh, cool.
So it kind of gave me an idea of where to start my menu. And so our first menu was basically the top recipes that were most liked at the cooking classes.
Okay, cool. So guys, that's something that you also could do, because it's interesting. Because obviously when you start a business, you need to have a customer persona. You have to analyze the people that you want to reach. So through those cooking classes, you were already analyzing your customer before opening the restaurant. So that, it's very smart. Like God had everything planned in a way.
Yes. Also, we're in an area that's very closed to outsiders. And the fact I was an outsider who'd moved in from Washington State, nobody knew me. And so the 5 years of classes gave me an opportunity to meet people, work with them, volunteer, be a friend. And so when I did open the restaurant, it wasn't, well, who's this person that just came in and opened this business from Timbuktu? Yeah. This was they were so excited. They were like, we're so thankful that you're one of us. You're now a struggling business on Main Street like the rest of us. And we're so happy to have you part of our
You were one of them already. Cool, so nice. Okay, so you started your restaurant, you opened, and tell me, what was your major struggle?
So my biggest struggle is definitely finances and long hours. So long hours is not a problem for me because I absolutely love working in the kitchen. I love the restaurant. I love my customers. They're like my family. And so it doesn't bother me to be here all day long for long hours in the day. Financial has probably been our biggest struggle. I basically started as a faith-based venture without a supporter base. And so it was just me and my family personally invested everything we had to start this restaurant. So my parents invested a little bit of their retirement savings. My husband and I invested our entire savings account. And since we've been open, like, we're one income family, and now my husband is actually a pastor, which he said he'd never be. But so we're on a pastor's income, and we have a few supporters, but we're in the poorest county in the United States, the #1 poorest county in the United States. So I can't raise my prices to where they should be for the quality of food that I'm serving, which is fine for me because I'm not in it to make money.
Yeah, correct.
I'm here to share Jesus with others. So I just told God, God, if we run out of money and we have to stop, I'll close the restaurant. I'm fine with that. But as long as, you provide what we need, then I'm going to stay open. And we've been open for 9 years. So our savings account went dry a long time ago. But by God's grace, every time we have come to a spot where we thought we weren't going to be able to even make our employees' paycheck, somehow God has provided. And we still don't have a huge support base or, steady donors or anything like that. But God is keeping us open. And by faith, we're just continuing on.
Awesome. So I want to know about a little bit more. Let's talk about how has been your evangelistic impact with this whole ministry?
That's the most exciting part. Because when we started the restaurant, it was me, my mom and dad, and my grandmother helped some as she could. We were the only ones working here. And we just did our best to share Jesus with everyone we could. And sometimes it meant sharing Jesus through a hug. Sometimes it meant sharing Jesus just by praying with somebody. But it wasn't like blatant evangelistic, we're going to offer Bible studies to every customer that walks in the door or give everybody a desire of ages or, whatever. It was more friendship evangelism. And as people ask questions, go deeper. And by God's grace now, after 9 years, my dad has passed away, my mom moved away, my grandma moved away. My entire kitchen staff now are people who have become Adventists because of the restaurant.
Oh, so cool.
And now they get the experience of being able to share Jesus the same way they learned about Jesus.
Oh, so cool. Awesome.
So when COVID hit and all the churches had to close, our church was actually dying before COVID. And so we were pretty sure that when COVID was over and we reopened church, there would be 4 people there. And by God's grace, we had a church full. And almost all of them were restaurant customers.
Amen.
And people who had continued to learn about Jesus through food and through our online ministry.
Amen. And so this has been in total of 9 years.
The restaurant has been open 9 years. The cooking classes have been going for 14 years.
So 14
every
years.
month.
Wow. And you do that for free for everyone that comes here?
It's a free class.
Awesome. Yeah. Wow. Amazing.
So obviously when the restaurant opened, it moved from that food pantry to our restaurant as the location for the cooking class and has never stopped.
Okay. I love the story. So now, the people that are hearing you, what would be the advice that you would give to them if they want to open a restaurant, to do mission?
All right, 2 words of advice. One is find a restaurant and spend some time volunteering to see how you like it. Because some people absolutely love it, and some people find out they absolutely hate it.
Okay.
And there's nothing worse than opening a restaurant and discovering that you don't like it. So go find a restaurant and volunteer. And hey, we're open. You can come volunteer here. That's fine.
Okay.
Come visit us, okay?
Come here to Kristina's kitchen. You can volunteer to learn everything, all the back end, everything that's happening on the back.
So that's one word of advice.
Okay.
The second word of advice is start small. I have seen so many people have wonderful plans to start something big, something huge, something that takes a lot of work and a lot of people. And then either A, they raise the money and then something falls apart and they don't have enough people to do it. Or B, they get into it and realize they had enough money to start, but not enough money to continue that large of an operation. There are so many factors. And so I say start small, and as you can, grow larger, expand. If you have to start with just a handful of people or just you and your family, do it. Start small.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Kristina. Okay, so I know that you wanted to share some things with them as well. You wanted to share about your recipes on your website. So what do you have?
Yes, absolutely. If you would like to see more of our recipes, more of what we do, you can go to our website, and that is kristinaskitchen.org, and that's Kristina with a K.
Okay, so you know that. kristinaskitchen.org.
Also, please follow us on Facebook.
Cool. Facebook.
And
yeah.
that is facebook.com/Kristina's Kitchen KY, because there's more than one Kristina's Kitchen on Facebook.
Sure.
On Facebook, you will find, we will make you hungry. We will show you pictures of our daily specials.
Cool.
But you will also get to watch once a month. Our monthly cooking class is on Facebook Live.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So, guys, all those links are going to be in the description below. And if they want to get in contact with you, how do they do that?
So
Any email or you want to
I'm
give
in
your
the
phone?
kitchen and not at my computer. So if you want to get a hold of me, message me on Facebook, and that will pop up on my cell phone.
Okay,
So if you message to Kristina's Kitchen Facebook, I will get it. And if you want to talk to me more, I will give you my cell phone number that way.
Okay, cool. You guys know now if you want to come volunteer or you just want to ask her some questions, all of that info is going to be in the description below so you can get it. Well, thank you, Kristina. Thank you so much for this interview. I think we all appreciate it, especially me, because I have thought on starting a restaurant as well. So it's been really eye-opening. And guys, if you come to Kentucky, Western Kentucky, you need to come here.
Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah, Eastern Kentucky. Sorry.
Come visit us.
I've been already 2 days here, eating here, and it's just amazing. So thank you, Kristina, for the interview.
Thank you.
So if you're visiting Eastern Kentucky, you must stop at Kristina's Kitchen and delight yourself with their yummy food. And go to her website to try some tasty recipes at home. The address and website in the description below. If God is calling you to open a restaurant to reach out to others, don't lose more time and go forward. If you like this video, give us a like and share this video with others. And hey, click the subscribe button and ring the bell to get notified on our latest content. If you want to know more about OCI and how we can help your ministry thrive, links on the description below. God bless.